ANDEF tackles National Assembly on cloudy areas. Then also, Southerners provoking North to spark crisis, says ACF. Then we also have AFCFTA, Pan African Payment Settlement System underway. You get that in page 19 of Vanguard newspaper.
And I know, sorry, I know we didn't talk about reviewing the punch, but let's just add it to it for the time. On the punch here, we have endless borrowing. Experts worry Okonjo-Iweala Ahmed differ on Nigerians' debts. Then Obaseki is set to appoint commissioners as wards government areas begin nomination. Sexual harassment militating against women in politics, says ex-legislator. ICPC boss 6 registration of lost values. Bauchi governor issues deadline as group pressures him up 2023 presidency. Bauchi governor. Federal government making regulations to protect politicians. Court nullifies case against Gombe lawmaker. And lastly, baby born in prison, special boy says Oni's wife at christening of released NSAS protester's son. You know the girl they released the other day. The Oni's wife said that the child is a special boy because he was born during the protest. So just basically commending him that he was special. So yes, that's it. And then
talking about the lady that was arrested during the NSAS protest,
yeah,
she was made to be granted bail.
Well, I think it was
They paid
10 million,
naira,
yes, 10 million.
paid 10 million naira with
Bail.
a shorty.
Yes.
With a shorty for her case. And I can't stop to wonder why people end up suffering. Because she joined the protesters.
Actually, she didn't join. I think she basically flaunted, the curfew. I think she was outside, just tiny bit. She was outside after the curfew that time. When he was giving the curfew that period there. So that's when they arrested her. She was not among the protesters. No, she wasn't there.
Okay,
she
so
does,
for the fact that she was outside
after the curfew.
The curfew,
yes,
so it's now a crime.
Exactly. They nabbed her and they put her
since last year till date.
And she gave birth, and they had to start deliberating about her release after she was already giving birth.
It's so sad that people have to undergo all of these issues on a daily basis, and we have this renovation problem here, and they are saying that they are not responsible for that. Before you know it, they won't even present anyone responsible for that, and the 37 million naira is gone. And they still have to renovate it again.
The leaking roof.
The leaking roof. What a shame to this country. Because how
it's an eyesore for others to see that our National Assembly roof is leaking that badly.
See, the issue we're having in this country is far beyond us. And we just pray and hope that things get better.
And Okonjo-Iweala here and Ahmed are talking about our Nigerians' debts. They're complaining. I mean, it's really appalling that we owe that much amount of money and it's getting that worse. So you're talking about, what is
our debt recently rose from 29% to 32%.
Wow.
It recently rose, and the thing is, they are not even aware. They are not even aware that it has risen to that point. And the thing is, they keep on borrowing.
Exactly.
They keep on borrowing. And my point is, where do they channel all of these resources to? Where do they channel all of this finance to? Because we keep on having same occurrences.
Exactly.
On a daily basis.
And they are saying here that, as Okonjo-Iweala and Ahmed are saying that they plan to borrow more money, actually. That's plan to borrow more money.
Obviously, they will keep on borrowing. But the thing, yes, obviously, they will keep on borrowing because there's this issue that we're having now that if they want to do something, they have to, understand. But the thing now is, you borrow to settle something. And the thing is, you don't work towards settling
the debt,
the previous debt.
Exactly. You just keep borrowing, keep keeping.
Now the question is, who exactly is going to pay all of this debt? Yes,
that is the question for the people at the top, the
who
government.
Will eventually pay this debt that you keep on borrowing, because you leave all of those debts for who? And now they are giving 10,000 youth ticket to run for the election and all of those things. Is it the youth that are going to pay?
As the youth are not got fired by somebody who's going to control their
Yeah.
leadership roles in the government, actually. So I don't know.
So I just believe that change starts with us. Change should start with us, because if we don't, if we as youth don't uh,
Go out there to.
don't go out there to say that we don't want this and all of that. But the thing is, in this country,
Well, sorry,
many of
no,
that,
sorry to cut you short, but the youth actually last year decided to go out to, to protest against the SARS that were basically killing youth back then,
do you know the only
But then-
language we understand in this country is violence?
They don't even understand violence, funny because violence is ongoing right now. All the killings, kidnappings, and yet nothing is been. They don't understand violence, so
It's
they don't understand.
violence, because if youth don't stand to so many things, they won't say that, okay, this and that.
I don't think they
But-
understand violence, my love, because if they do, you've seen what's happening in the southeast, what's happening now in those states now. It's come out to where we are, basically around Nigeria, and they're telling me they understand violence. What is it about stopping the banditry, the kidnappings, the killing, the rape? Basically, it's just getting worse every day. I don't know. I just pray that God.
And we hear that Southerners are provoking the North to spark crisis. It's enough that we have issues on ground, and Southerners,
Are provoking
the Northerners,
to.
to start the crisis.
Wow.
So now, if they now start all of this crisis, what is now the future of Nigeria?
Like we said, I just think that we come together. It's not just about Northerners going for their meeting, Southerners going for the meeting. Just everybody should come together in a room, or around Nigeria, or all ethnic groups, different tribes should come together and then talk about the issues and try to find a way to solve. Because if I'm going to say, let's go and do meeting here tomorrow, Southerners do a meeting, it's going to cause more differences between the whole country and more disunity. So come together and talk about it, and then find solutions to the problems in the country.
Possible solutions to it.
Exactly.
And on this note, we've come to the end of our newspaper review segment done on Vos TV. Coming up next is another exciting episode as it relates to cultural issues, and I bet you can't afford to miss. Don't go nowhere, as we'll be right back. Thanks for sticking around. On this second segment of the show, we'll be looking at a closer look of an issue that seemed more like a cultural thing, and it's becoming a social thing. Yesterday, the world celebrated Widows' Day, hence the need of this discussion today. We're looking at plight of widows in Nigeria. In Nigeria, widows suffer double loss of their husband, and also loss of their inheritance. We have a window report revealed in 2015 by Lumba Foundation, which says that 258 million widows are in the world, and out of this, we have 3.5 million widows in Nigeria. And also, according to World Bank statistics, we have 42% of widows in Nigeria that outrightly loses their inheritance after the demise of their husband. Then to buttress all of this, today I have with me in the studio Ijoma Iwuchukwu, who will be doing plight of widows in Nigeria. What do you have to say about this?
I mean, what would this have to go through after their husbands died?
Yes.
It's really sad that they have to go through all those pain, the morning rites, before the burial and everything. They have to. And this is very unfair cultural practices. It's not nice.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be eliminated from the culture,
Yeah.
so that widows can get their rights.
Because it's so sad that after your husband dies, you now have to face issues with your family. That's your husband's family. They immediately come.
Have
You have to
children.
accept the fact that her
She just lost her
husband
husband,
is gone.
and then she have kids that she needs to take care of. So
Yes.
a lot of
Then
issues.
you come to fight over the inheritance, and the worst of the whole thing is that if you don't have, mostly this situation is peculiar to Igbos, because at some point, if you don't have male children, there's no way you're gonna get any of your inheritance.
Exactly, and that
And
is
at
a
that
very
point,
sad thing.
they are being made to drink water from their disease, the water that
They
use
birth
in
their
bathing,
deceased
their
husband,
deceased husband,
and then they're meant to drink it.
to drink it. They shave off their hairs.
Sometimes they make it admit to killing your husband.
You can
They
imagine.
force you to admit that you killed him. As in, and if you die during the mourning process, they assume you killed your husband. You get what I'm saying? After all those acts they do to you, to sleep on a dirty mat, eat from a broken plate. I'm like,
And
why?
at some point, they are being made to even marry the elder brother,
Like
or the younger.
they pass you over to the
Yes,
younger brother
they
of
pass you
your
over as
husband,
if you are some object, some kind of object that you
or
don't
property
have
actually.
over. And
Exactly.
this, it's something that is been recurring over
Constantly,
the years.
happening a lot of time.
Yes. So we have lots of enlightenment, like programs that they do on the airwaves about this issue,
Okay.
the plight, things that widows face.
Go through. Mhm.
Yes, what they go through in the society. They give us programs like enlightenment programs on the airwaves, telling people how to cope all of this, and for them to be able to stop all of this. But still, about even the fact that they have all of this program going on, how does this have a possible impact in changing their narrative? Because they feel that this thing is all about tradition. They keep saying that it's their tradition.
Mhm.
Now, how do you think all of these
Campaigns,
programs,
enlightenment,
campaigns and everything has helped?
I mean, to a large extent, all these cultural practices have reduced to at least the minimum. I know it's still happening in some parts of Nigeria actually, but then before it was really reoccurrence. It was more often, like it happened anytime your husband died. I know someone who actually her husband died, but she didn't go through with this shaving of hair right in the Igbo land because I mean she's educated. I feel like agree to that. But then some people still do it, but there are fewer than the one before. So I feel like the campaigns have helped a lot to minimize the frequent happenings of the rights.
Okay, so under the law, we're made to understand that about the issue of inheritance, the will, and every other thing, they should ensure that we have laws that will safeguard
Yes, we do.
these widows,
Mm.
and we have things like probate law that can help the wife,
Yes.
the wife going to court and making sure that all of her properties or inheritance, rather, it's being safeguarded. And we have issues whereby a man end up marrying another,
Wow.
and at that point in time, even if you have the issue of will now,
Yeah.
is something that is not all about you writing a will now. It's about you updating that will.
Exactly. To make
Yeah.
it valid before you die. Because if it's like,
Yes,
still
because
audited.
things keep on going as the year goes by.
Yeah.
So it's a thing that when you update it, maybe the first wife dies and the second wife, you have to update that kind of
And
will.
put her in the
And
will.
so, yes, because the children of the first wife also have to partake
Yes.
in that inheritance, and
Definitely.
also the second wife as well. So it's something that needs to be updated. And people fail to understand the fact that if they don't update all of this, they leave the family, they leave the children, they leave the wife to the hands of their family or to people that at the end of the day they don't end up helping them. And it's really a problem.
I feel like readers should give you opportunity to actually assess the probate law more, so that they can actually go and have a right to get their husband's will in their own name. Because I feel like most times these husbands, maybe they tend to forget, but they put their will most of the time. They add their brothers and their family to it. I'm not saying they shouldn't add their brothers or their sisters to their will, but I'm just saying that to let your wife percent be higher than one of your brothers and sisters. Because if theirs is higher than your wife's own, they're going to intimidate her to actually give you back to them. Like my aunt, when her husband died, her husband, she didn't have any kids with her husband, so that's very unfortunate too. the people came, they took away everything that she had. They went to court, no doubt, but then at the end, she had just little thing to give. Like she really battered them. She battered them, but then I think they split it into equal, and they gave her a part because she really followed them to get her. She know what she wants. She know what she deserved. So if women know what they want and what they deserve, like they have the right to the husband, then they can actually fight and get what they want.
So are you now saying that they don't know what they want? Like the women that have been going through all of this, is it that they don't know what they want?
Okay, no, it's not like they're not. But most of the time, they actually get intimidated. More than know what you want and stand up for what you want. These are two different things. You know what you want, yes, no doubt. But then stand for what you want and then go for it. Like she went for it and then she got what she wanted. So even though you don't have kids or you have kids, just fight till the last part of everything. So because you deserve that. I mean, it's your husband for crying out loud.
So we need a better law to favor women, because in this, I would say that even as a woman, anything can happen tomorrow. I always say that don't rely on your husband's investment. Don't
For
rely
everything.
on your husband's investment, because when anything should happen, and there are some women that they always make this mistake of full-time housewife. They're always full-time
I won't
housewife.
I won't
They
say
don't
it's a
do-
mistake. No, the word mistake, it's quite.
No, there are some women that their husband will tell them that I don't want you to work. I have all it takes to take care of you and my children.
Yes.
So do not work, just sit at home. And some women forget that even if he says you should sit at home, at least he should open a business for you, or you get something doing.
Or at least if he does not give you a
Without
business,
him-
and he should give you an allowance, like
Yes.
a stipend, like every month that should help you able to save,
Even if you end up
and then end up open something for yourself at the end. Not like you want to. I mean, there's a way you talk to your husband to allow you to do things that you want to do, but not like saying that it's a mistake, like to be a housewife.
There are some men that they are adamant in that.
And there are men who actually say be a housewife and then actually work towards protecting your interests later, like putting you that will, like owning the estate, all of that stuff.
For you not to allow all of this to come up is a thing that you just work towards it. Don't rely on what he will do for you tomorrow. Don't say that, okay, I'm married to a rich man, my husband is up and doing, so I believe my children's future is safe, my future is also safe, we're going to have inheritance and all of that. And before you marry a man, endeavor to know their culture, their traditions. Though we know that civilization is taking over, but there are some parts of the country that they are not, in fact,
they're not immobilized, you know, enlightened about all this
about
new...
all of this, and they still believe so much in their tradition. So they still, whatever thing you say, so it boils to the fact that a woman needs to stand up, to rise up for her future, secure your future,
know your rights
without your husband's
know
prompting. Know your rights, know what you want as a woman. Because if you are saying that, okay, my husband will do this, what if something happens tomorrow?
And
you find out that
I just want to bring this to the table though. Okay. I mean, these widows, you know, what they go through, it's not really the same with the widowers here in Nigeria. You see a woman who actually, her husband dies, then she's told not to get married again in her entire life. So she can think about children. When a man's wife dies, the next year he's getting married. It's like, it's very unfair. You know, the partiality is just really obvious and too much. It's not fair because, I mean, if your wife is dead, it's the same as the husband dying. So basically, if both of you die, you can just, you know, I feel like men, and actually, I feel like men don't actually go through this money rights. You don't see a man going to go and shave his hair, or, you know, drink the wife's cup, water cup, whatever they call it. So that's
a painful situation we find ourselves in this country. That everything has to do with the woman. Like also in Benin culture, having that. It's not even only in Benin.
In the south side, yeah?
Yes, because it's a thing that if a woman should cheat on her husband, there you see that the children start suffering. Like if the husband is not aware and she gets to cheat on her husband, the children are meant to suffer. Maybe they'll start dying one after the other.
So they follow them. There's a cost that follows it actually. But when a man cheats, no cost follows the man. And that is so, it's so unbalanced. You know, it's not fair that. You know, the woman in Africa is basically seen as the weaker vessel, the one that should be dominated, you know. So but thank God that, you know, the modern world came in exploitation came in and then trying to change a lot of things
Yes.
between the women and the men. So I just hope that with the campaigns, 90 men programs going on, that there could be more change though. That men can know that, okay, I deserve this and I know what I want and I'm going to go for it. That's just it.
That's just it. So we just hope that women can stand up, because there are still some women out there that they don't have that courage
Because of how,
to speak up.
exactly.
To speak up, they'll be like, what will these people do to me? They suffer
And
in
they talk
silence.
about the cost of getting a lawyer, of going to court. These are money you spend, and they're dragging your property with you. That means you don't really have much, like you said, a full housewife now.
So in that
You don't really
regard,
have
I would
much to
just say
offer.
that there should be a law.
They should
backing,
work more on the law
yes,
to protect these widows' rights, so
because
that they don't get
they
to
are-
suffer.
Yes.
They must understand.
Because they go through a lot after the loss of their husband. You now
Yeah.
start taking care of your children, how
Alone,
you fend for them.
Being a father and a mother at the same time.
It's not really easy.
It's not easy.
Because even parents, the job of two people is not even easy. Not alone,
Being
being a single person,
doing
doing
both jobs. Yeah.
And you come here and you come and tell them that
They don't deserve
tradition and all of those things.
Exactly.
It's really sad.
Just,
So just hope that all of these laws will be enacted to remove all of these hiccups.
in this system.
Yeah. So on this note, we've come to the end of this plight of widowhood in Nigeria, and I'll leave you with this: women, speak up, so we don't live in a silent world that you end up suffering and suffering in silence and all of that. Speak up, talk to people, and endeavor to work. Don't rely on your husband's
Solely.
wealth. Don't rely solely on your husband's wealth, because when you do that, you never can tell what will happen in the future. Do well to follow us across our social media platform on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. VOS TV News on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, VOS TV News Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Blessing Raj.